Right, recording. So Linda starts by saying she looks like a floating head.
Yeah.
So we're back, meeting of the minds. We decided to give it a go. Do you want to start today?
No, I'd like you to start today,
Like
please. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with getting into zone. Talk. It's been quite a while since I've done anything that I've recorded or done live on Facebook or anything, so it might be a bit rusty, but that's okay.
That's okay. It's authentic.
This time has taken me very much inward, so I've been doing a lot of self-work. So we wanted to talk about the new yoga sessions that I'm offering, which I've been running in sort of 6-week blocks throughout this crazy year. And it's come to the point for me, really, where I really felt that not just I needed, but I think everybody else needed courage and strength, which is what I started to do on Tuesday, was teach courage and strength.
I was there. I took the first one.
Dealing with fear, actually. We dealt with fear on Tuesday because I always think that's a really good basis for releasing fear before we step into finding out that courage. We can't go into courage and strength with the fear. And there has been a lot of fear, whether it's your own fear or whether it's other people's fear. And that's what I have a big thing about, that is that how much fear are we taking on that isn't ours?
I had to turn off the news.
Yeah.
All bad news all the time. So I update myself when I need to, but for the most part, my television does not go on the news channel very often.
No, it's one of the worst things you can do right now is listen to the news.
And I'm a former journalist. I should be devouring the news. I just can't. It's too much.
Create your own. Create your own news.
Exactly.
Amazing books that you write.
Yes. And the funny thing is, like, you're talking about releasing fear and getting your fear under control in order to get the courage. And that's exactly what the books are about.
Yeah.
Because George and Mildred, George is afraid of everything, like the vacuum cleaner, the rocking chair, the latest book just finished, out of my head, into the computer, off to the illustrator. He and Mildred go to the beach, and he's deathly afraid of the water. And he has to conquer that fear in order to save Mildred.
Wow. Perfect for this time.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets the courage. He's forced into it. He's not comfortable with it, but he does it because it's his best friend and she's in trouble.
Brilliant. And we'll add those links up to your books.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What was your first one, Linda? Tell us about that a little bit.
What was that?
The very first one, your book that you...
Oh, the book. It's so long ago now. It's called George and Mildred, The Attack of the Meanie Girls, and it started when I moved here to Scotland. I'm originally from Canada, and I moved to Scotland. I have my whole family's here except for my brother and a few scattered cousins in Canada, but for the most part, all of the immediate relations are here. And I've always had an affinity for Scotland. I felt more at home in Scotland than I did in Canada for whatever reason. So I moved across and I brought my dog with me. And I stayed with my best friend for 2 months while I was searching for a place. And the dogs in the backyard beside my friend, every time we were out, they would terrorize KO. KO's a very skittish 13-year-old now boxer, and he runs from everything. So he would go up to say hello, and they would bark and growl and show their teeth. And they're not mean girls, really, despite the title of the book. But Mildred, or Smudge the Yorkie, came up, and every time they barked at him, she barked back and stood up for him. So that was the premise of the whole book.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Great for now. Fits in really well with what's going on.
I think so, yeah.
Like, I just wanted to talk about, I wrote it down, inaccurate beliefs and former selves. Am I correct?
Yeah. I've gone through many transitions.
Yeah.
This is my latest one, and I think it's my favorite one. I was very, very shy. did not have a lot of belief in myself,
Mm.
lots of self-doubt. Um, and I would sabotage too. Like I would like if someone told me, "Oh, this is really good." Oh no, it's not. And then I do the exact opposite. Uh, I don't know why,
Mhm.
because I was afraid to step into my greatness or step into my full potential
Yeah.
because it was basically out of fear,
Mhm.
fear of failure, fear of rejection. Even though I had good feedback, there
Mhm.
was still that fear there.
I've just been talking to a client about this, about the not stepping into our power and just not honoring it due to past issues or whatever. And I was just saying that it's so important that we drop the past because we're not living in the present if we.
You learn from the past. You don't hold on to it and pack it away in your baggage and bring it along with you. Uh, I had a tense relationship with my parents, my mom in particular. And my mom and my dad, they raised me well. I'm a good person, I'm a caring person, but they also brought their own baggage and placed it on me.
Hmm.
More so my mom, but I had to, and she had baggage from her past, from her family, and I had to break the cycle.
Hmm.
So before she passed away in 2013. Was it 2000, no, 2015, sorry. Um, we had to reconcile. And that took a lot of work on both of our parts. And part of that was shirking off our former selves and uh, looking at each other as actual humans.
Yeah.
So,
But don't you believe, like I mean, I truly believe that we do come into this world knowing what we're getting. There might be a different direction that happens depending on our choices, but we
yeah,
ask for certain things so that we can learn our lessons.
yeah,
And I do think, and I do notice, and I certainly do at this moment in time with the huge shift in the world, is that it's so easy to blame
oh,
others,
yeah,
and it's so easy to, you know, shirk off responsibility for the self, you know.
exactly.
And I think one of the huge things right now is for people to, I'm saying this quite a lot, but is to actually go inward and sort out yourself, because when you sort out yourself, then your external, as you know, external world changes and shifts.
Yeah, definitely.
It starts with you. Everything starts with
It's
you.
accountability.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's stepping up. And like, I know I have my faults. Uh, I was the wide child growing up, so I drove people nuts. Because if I didn't understand it and it didn't apply to me, or I didn't think it applied to me, then the rules were on left on the side.
Oh, I relate to that one.
Yeah. But I also think that people are placed in our lives for a reason. I went to a medium, this is many, many months ago, and she said, "You have a soulmate." And I was like, "Yeah, right, whatever." And she says, "No, it's your mother." And it was, she taught me stuff. In turn, I taught her stuff. I didn't see it that way at the time, but like, you learn the lessons as you go.
Yeah.
I'm constantly learning about myself, learning about others, learning new skills. And in learning the new skills, I shirked away some of the fear.
I also think there's that thing, I think we spoke about this before, about when you turn 40. And I never believed that when somebody said that to me, that when you turn 40, you will notice the change.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and something did happen to me when I was 40, something shifted. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I really felt you don't give as much of a damn. You don't, you stop that sort of sense of really caring what others think about you.
Mm-hmm.
A way that, you didn't when you were 39.
Yeah, it's amazing that shift 1 year can make. Indra, I turned 50.
Well, congratulations.
I was so distraught like 2 years ago thinking I was almost 50. Now it's like,
Well, with 50, you'll get more wisdom.
exactly. Well, I've already got the wisdom hair, so it's
Well,
the COVID hair growing out.
but when you say inaccurate beliefs, I know what do you want to just like expand on your thought of inaccurate beliefs so I can just chip in?
It's beliefs that you tell yourself, limiting beliefs.
Okay, limiting beliefs.
And most of the time they're so inaccurate. Like, uh, I was told when I was younger that if I sang, I sounded like a dying cat. It's like, that was just someone teasing me. And I took that into my heart and I didn't sing for years. It's me saying, oh, I'm not very good at this without even really trying. But because I had that belief in me that I couldn't do it, that there's a line in the new book that I absolutely adore because it just came out organically. And it's where George is getting ready to go to the beach and he's scared. And he says to his mom, well, maybe I should back out because uh, he thought that it was better not to try at all than to fail. My biggest fear was failure. Failure in someone else's eyes, failure in mine, but mostly someone else. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be whatever it is for a certain person, a certain group of people. Uh, I sort of geared my personality depending on the shift of the wind of the mood. And it was just so weird because as a child, I wasn't like that. Yes, I was shy, but I was cheeky too.
Yeah, it's weird because I changed my view of the word failure a few years ago because I really don't believe there is such a thing. To me, it's just about lessons.
Yeah.
Lessons that you've never really learned or been taught, and you always learn from that thing called failure. And it's funny you say that because you were talking about singing. I can sing. I'm fine. It was running when I was a child. My mum used to tease me for the way that I used to run, that I used to throw myself over the high jump at school, or anything that was athletic that involved some form of running. And I actually got a real complex about running because that thing about, oh, you've got two left feet, even though I could dance really well, but I couldn't run fast, and I was out. I think from, and I know from, not think from, I talked myself into believing that because they thought I couldn't run fast, then I couldn't run fast. So I naturally slowed down my time instead of believing as a child I could run fast and quickening myself up. If I knew what I knew now, what I knew then, I wouldn't have been the slowest in the class.
And now you're a runner.
And now I'm a runner. Yeah, I am. That's what I was getting around to. That's what happened to me when I started running. I started feeling so paranoid about running in public. And now I don't give a damn. And now I run 3 times a week, or twice at the moment because it's hard to get up at.
Oh yeah.
It's so dark.
It's so dark here all the time. Like I get up, it's dark. I
very early.
It's dark. It's like, oh, I need sunshine.
So I'm sure loads of people relate to this. It's like, where have you been spoken to in your life where you still have that to look at now,
Yeah, like both of my parents are gone. We made peace. I'm okay. But there's still these little nuggets that are deep inside that just come out. Like when I wrote that line in the book, it's like, where the hell did that come from? Yeah. But it's a little tiny nugget that was deep down. And because I was just freestyle writing, it came out and it became part of the book.
Yeah.
Because George is afraid all the time, and especially of failing and looking bad in his friends' eyes.
And the good thing about it is that you can always say to yourself, so what is the worst thing that could happen to me if this didn't go, if this failed, so to speak? What is the, and when you look at it like that and you think, what is the worst thing that could happen to me?
Well, I had to do that when I moved here because I was leaving a job that I was good at. It was not my dream job. This is my dream job. But I was leaving a job. I was leaving an apartment that I'd been in for like 5 years. I was leaving friends. I was leaving a relationship. I was leaving my brother to come here where I've always wanted to be and not really know what the hell I was going to do. But it was either sink or swim.
Yeah.
And I started swimming, paddling frantically.
And not like, because this year you couldn't have done it.
No, no. I think if circumstances had have been different and COVID didn't come into it, I don't think I'd be where I am today because this allowed me the concentration. I couldn't go and find a regular job and pigeonhole myself into that again because I'd done that before. Like I was a journalist for 16, 17 years. Uh, the newspaper industry changed and my paper shut down. So I went into uh, promotions and promotional products.
Mm.
So I sort of got away from the industry and then I got laid off again. Um, and I completely shifted gear and went back to school and I was a medical office administrator. Like it was, I was still helping people and I enjoyed that aspect, but it was not something that uh, I truly felt my calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is.
Yeah, totally. Writing. Absolutely.
And
for
writing children's books. Who knew?
And but for anybody, it's like now is the perfect time while we've got this time and we're in winter and we've got this time to be able to really look at what it is that, you know, we want to do.
And take the step, take the leap.
Take that
Because
step.
until you do that, you don't know. And you're going to be uh, stuck in the fear.
I mean, I speak for everybody, but I'm really speaking to me. What sort of what I really feel passionate about is people who are maybe around our age, who have got so much. I mean, it's there's no coincidence that the groups that I teach tend to be people of around my age group, because there's so many people of our age group that are on the edge of that place of where they know they've got something to offer that really hurts them inside because they haven't got it out there. And time is ticking and we've seen such and things change so quickly because we've seen such a weird year this year that we would never have expected. No. And
you couldn't write this stuff.
No, you couldn't. Well, you could do it. Hey. That'll be
everything that has happened. You just yes, you have the imagination and you could probably do it, but you'd think it was a pile of fiction, and it's not.
Absolutely would. But it's like, so now is the time to actually really look at, and I've been saying this since the beginning, since March. It's like, stop focusing on what's going on out there with the vaccine and everything like that, but come in and look at yourself right now, because then you can make the shift and the change. I'm a big lover of Neville Goddard, and I love Neville Goddard's work as well as Florence Scovel Shinn, and they're two of my favorites, my go-tos, because I really understand their teachings. And so they're the two that I'm really, really sitting with at the moment, because they were born in, you know, the beginning of the century. They were doing their stuff.
Yeah.
Look, it resonates with us so strongly right now, you know, so.
And I was thinking about my grandmother because she was born in 1899. She lived to almost be 100. So she saw 2 world wars. She saw the Depression. She saw the Spanish flu that came through. Like she saw everything, and she survived. She ended up staying around till she was almost 100.
Brilliant.
I think she was just stubborn myself, but
Always helps.
no, she flourished in her later years.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
If you had something to say to people right now, Linda, what would it be?
Get out of your own head, and just do it. Um, I've seen tremendous change since I got here, but more importantly, since I embraced who I actually am.
Yeah.
Be authentic, because like you're lying to yourself otherwise.
Yeah.
And you're lying to others, but more importantly, you're lying to yourself. Because if you are not your authentic self for whatever reason, it could be fear, it could be you really don't know who you are, do the work and find out. Because you're pretty amazing.
Thanks. I know I
I
am.
know.
You know, it's funny because another thing about this work is that, you know, it's one of these things, and I noticed this with you, and I'll say it because I like to be really open about stuff, is that you've physically changed and shifted as well, and you,
Yeah.
and that to me, you know, all these products, whatever it is, you know, people use to make themselves look beautiful and make themselves look younger, go back to the internal work, you know.
Yeah.
It's a natural way of keeping yourself young. Is start with you clearing the energy within you, the old in you, shifting yourself is the
Yeah.
biggest way of keeping yourself younger. Joe Dispenza talks about that all the time. It's like, you know, stop thinking about the creams and the potions and the lotions that are out there.
I don't use anything. I use soap and water, and uh, actually not every day because my skin tends to dry out. But I drink 10 glasses of water today, a day. I don't have black tea. I'll treat myself to one coffee a day. That's it. Um, but I'm 50 and I have no wrinkles. But about 4 months ago, uh, I wasn't eating or drinking healthy.
Yeah.
And you could see the bags under my eyes in certain pictures that I didn't notice before, but once they were gone, I noticed. It's like, oh wow, like I don't have extra luggage underneath my eyes. And I always woke up tired no matter how much sleep I got. Uh, and I don't want to say I've lost because that means it sounds like I something negative, like I've misplaced something. I have released 54 pounds
Well done.
since September.
Wow.
And that is, I'm still eating lots, but it's concentrating on the inner, like liver, kidney.
Always. You know.
Yeah, and eating healthy, eating raw, natural foods.
Yeah.
I've not had bread since September 19th. I drive by a McDonald's and now I just wave at it. I don't crave it. I didn't have it very often, but every once in a while I did, but I was still eating the processed foods. And this time has allowed me to concentrate not only on my psyche and all my chakras, but for physical as well. And I go out for walks every day into the woods.
Yeah, brilliant. That nature's huge for that. Is huge for helping out with the youthfulness.
Yeah, and my dog's 13 and he's still going strong. He can outrun me any day.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because I run only when being chased, Indra.
I think I do as well. Really.
Yeah. I have double joints in my knees. I did join a running club years ago and I loved the discipline. I loved the stamina of it. My knees did not cooperate.
They're not. It's not the best thing for running. But I'm a swimmer and I tend to cross train anyway, so I don't continuously do the one thing.
My friends call me Flipper. So I was the first one in the pool, in the ocean, last one out all the time.
Well, thank you, Linda. That's really good. Just being able to sort of support people at this time of being able to two
Yeah.
women, entrepreneurial women.
I just love the authenticity that you bring, and just you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah, we all need to do that. I've got some stuff coming out soon. I'm not promoting it yet until it does, but I have. And Linda has. But so the stuff that's out at the moment, we'll put some links up with this and just contact either of us, you know, for what we do, because I'm constantly running yoga and courses and programs that support people, not just women, but men as well, in a situation where they need to release, as I say, release that rigidity, because we do, but we are so affected by the external world.
Mm-hmm.
Forget who we are.
You have to turn inward at least once a day, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Meditation in the morning and the evening.
At least, and to ideally, if you can be living your life inward with awareness, with as we call it in yoga, Sakshi Bhava, which is the internal witness, you know, it's the watcher. If you can live your life like that, that's fabulous, you know, but that takes time. That takes time. But
a lot of percolation.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Linda.
Thank you. And if anyone wants to tell their story, I live in stories. I love stories, and I'd love to hear yours.
Brilliant.
Okay, thank you, Indra.
Thank you.
Bye.